Hey, this is Ryan Kebe with Armstrong Neighborhood Channel, coming to you again with another edition of Kebe's Community. Today, we have a very special guest, the Executive Director for Active Aging, Krista Geer. Krista, thanks so much for taking some time out of your busy schedule. I'm sure that you guys are extremely busy over there, but thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely. So, Krista, obviously there's a lot going on in our community, a lot of things happening here. First and foremost, I want to give you an opportunity to talk about active aging and everything that active aging does in the community. There's a lot of resources here in Crawford County, especially through active aging, that most people don't know about. Do you want to take a minute just to talk a little bit about that?
Absolutely. We have a broad array of services for individuals who are over the age of 60. One of the primary ones is our senior centers that are in the community. We intentionally try to call them active aging centers as opposed to senior centers because, it's not unusual for people to say, oh, a senior center is where old people go. And that's not the case at all. So we try to rebrand them a little bit as active aging centers. Those currently, normally they're open 8 to 4 Monday through Friday. Right now, that's been adjusted. We've had to close down all the buildings just because we want to make sure we're keeping everybody safe. And we don't want people to feel they have to come out. At those centers, we offer a variety of activities and engagements. It's not all bingo or cards, but that is some things that are done. There's a lot of exercise classes, a lot of opportunities to join different groups and learn things. And we also have, a lunchtime meal that's provided that's hot. We also provide services in the community. The bulk of our staff, and we have around 45 staff, the bulk of them are care managers who work with people in the community. They go out, they do assessments to determine what people need to help them remain at home as long as they can. And then they coordinate those services, working with other contractors, other providers in the community that are able to do the actual hands-on services. We also have protective services, which is, a large part of what we do. We receive reports of abuse, exploitation, or neglect for anyone over the age of 60 that someone feels may be in danger. They give us a call, and we have staff who are specially trained to be investigators to go out and see, what it is that's happening and if there's anything that we can do to help mitigate the risk. We also have counselors that'll help you with your Medicare enrollment, figuring out what services you need, what plan works best for you. We have them available, and they're still available by phone as well. And, we have our foundation that works to raise money year round to help support us. And they have a weekly bingo, and they do different trips and different events that help support us. And of course, that's come to a screeching halt under the current situation. But I'm happy to say that we're pretty much operating, as normally as we could under these circumstances. As I mentioned, we closed down our buildings, and that just seemed like the best thing to do for everyone. We have our staff are rotating. There's some that are working here today, and then they'll be at home tomorrow, and then a different group will come in that day. And we're just going to keep doing that because the other ones can work remotely from home, but we have to have people here to answer the phone and help those who are calling with an immediate need. And of course, our administrative staff is here full time doing what we need to do, making certain that we're putting in place all the things that the care managers need to be able to provide those services. Our centers are providing a drive-through kind of a meal option at each of our centers. So on Mondays, they'll give out 2 hot meals, one for Monday and one for Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, they'll do the same for Wednesday and Thursday. And you can also have an option for a frozen meal for Friday if you would like. Again, it minimizes the contact and then minimizes the risk of contracting anything or sharing anything. And it keeps us in contact. as well. So we're doing all of those things. We have had to stop our daily bingo, and we've had to stop any of our building rentals or any of our fundraising activities like that. But we're still doing everything that we normally would do. We're taking phone calls and we're helping people as much as we can. But of course, we've just cut down on the face-to-face interaction, and we're doing a lot more by phone than we normally would.
Absolutely, absolutely. In short, it sounds like you guys are still staying very, very busy over there, right?
Oh, yeah,
That's
this
just incredible,
situation. Thank you. Yeah, this situation seems to be changing minute by minute and day by day, and so we're just doing everything we can to adapt to make certain that we're able to continue to provide services.
It absolutely, like you said, how we all have to adapt to these new changing, ever changing circumstances. I mean, like you said, it seems like every single minute we have a new update on what's going on. I know that you
Yeah.
mentioned, you guys are currently delivering food, or I think you said you had a drive-through food pickup right now, right? And then I
We
believe
do
that you said that
both.
that's available on Mondays and Wednesdays.
Yeah, we do both, and I neglected to mention our home delivered meal program. Sorry, thanks for reminding me. We do home delivered meals for individuals also who aren't able to come to the centers and get their meals. So we have a large number of people in our community who are getting a delivery of a frozen 5 pack, and we deliver those once a week, and then they'll have their meals for the entire week. And again, we've put practices in place to minimize the exposure there. We have the drivers calling them when they get to the home so that they can leave them on the porch, and the person can pick them up there and minimize that interaction and the time they're together. But yeah, otherwise the hot meals are available, as you said, Mondays and Wednesdays.
That's fantastic. Very good to know. Because in this current climate, obviously, it is very important that our elderly are staying at home. And I mean, some of those people,
Yes.
they might not be able to have a relative that lives in close proximity that can go get them food at a grocery store. So I mean, that's awesome what you guys are doing there at Active Aging, and we really appreciate
Thank
all that. I know the community appreciates that. And I mean, a lot of things that people have been saying as well is, what can they do to help out? I mean, is there anything that anyone can do right now? A lot of people are stuck at home, bored out of their mind, like myself. But what can those people do to help? Is there anything we can do?
Well, the first thing I would say is be a good neighbor, right? Check on the people that you know that live near you that probably can't get out and need a little bit of assistance. Right now, we're not to the point where we're having difficulty delivering our meals or meeting the services that we need to. But if that would happen, we'd certainly love to have a list of people who are willing and able to do things for us in the community. And we've had several reach out, and we're definitely keeping their names in mind should something come up. But my first recommendation would be just be a good neighbor. Check on your neighbors, see how they're doing, especially if they're older adults. A lot of the chain grocery stores and the local grocery stores have set up special hours for our seniors and our older adults to be able to go shopping before the crowds get out, so they can get in there probably an hour before or a half hour before in a good number of the stores. And we're keeping that information on our Facebook page as well. And help them if they can't get there or they're not able to do the online ordering or those kinds of things. Let them know. And if it's something beyond what you feel you can help them with, by all means reach out to us, and we'll do everything that we can do. And of course we're going to have some limitations, but we're really trying to stretch those limitations, especially during this time, because we know that for everybody who's sitting at home and kind of feeling a little bit trapped in front of their television, this is a scary situation. And I think sometimes when that's all you're able to see and all you're able to focus on, it becomes larger and larger and even more frightening. So we're also trying very hard to make certain that social distancing doesn't become social isolation. We have our staff, making phone calls every day, trying to touch base with all the people they know that need to hear from us, and need to be reassured that everything's okay.
Fantastic. So, I mean, essentially, in short, if you or a loved one is in need, 60 and above, if you need help, in short, essentially, call Active Aging, see what's available, see how you can get help. We're gonna post the phone number and description down here in the video. Krista, thank you so much. Is there anything else that maybe you'd like to go over? I was so important what you said with social distancing not becoming social isolation. It's very important
Yeah.
that we're practicing social distancing, but I mean, take opportunities to go for a walk outside. I mean, it's not wrong to go on a walk with your grandma. As long as you're taking 6 feet of distance, go outside and enjoy the weather, but keep that social distancing. But it doesn't need to be that social isolation. I love that message.
Absolutely. So, yeah, even if it's just nothing more than a phone call, I think it really does go a long way. And I'd also encourage people to be aware. Um, we've encountered a lot of scams that we've been made aware of just in the last week, and we're constantly updating our Facebook page to let people know what those are as we hear about them. And while there's a whole lot of really great people reaching out and asking what they can do to help, there's also a whole lot of people who want to take advantage of this opportunity and do some harm as well. So if you hear of that, or if you think you're seeing that, by all means, please let us know. If it's something that you think rises to the level of police involvement, absolutely contact them. But speak up. We need to be very vigilant for those who are in need of that help.
Absolutely. I know I texted my grandma the other day and said, do not answer the phone if if you do not know what phone number that is that's calling you. That's a very good point. There's a lot of scams going out there. Stay
Mhm.
vigilant. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Krista. I really appreciate it. Had a lot of great info, and like I said, we're going to post all that information here in the video. And if you need anything, call Active Aging. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Krista.
Thank you, Ryan. Have a great day.